Professor Pallas here with the Week 14 Weekly Wrap-Up for NTD420 for Spring 2020. Let's take a look and review the results of our weekly class opinion poll. This week we looked at the reason obesity may be affecting children. The question was, obesity is the most common nutritional disorder affecting children and adolescents in the developed world. Pediatric obesity is caused by excessive food consumption and drinking of high-calorie sweetened beverages, no exercise or physical activity, as well as genetic factors. Of these choices, in my opinion, the easiest to modify would be 6.9% of the class said reduce excessive food consumption. 58.62% of the class said reducing consumption of high-calorie sweetened beverages. And 34.48% of you said increasing physical activity levels. So this is very interesting to look at the data. There's no right answer here. All of these things would make a difference, and all of them can be done, and all of them have their challenges. Increasing physical activity levels could be a great place to start, but you need to make sure that the children come from families that are able to support that and that they live in environments where they have access to places where they can do that physical activity. That can be done, though, at home. We've learned a lot about that over these past 8 weeks. Reducing high-calorie sweetened beverage consumption is another easy place, an easy target to look at. And the challenge with that may just be that children need to learn to appreciate the flavor of things that are less sweet. And reducing excessive food consumption, that's something you want to approach with care because we don't use the word diet when we're working with pediatrics, but you do want to focus on appropriate portion control and possibly also in helping these young humans understand when they're full and when they're not, and possibly when they're mindlessly eating, such as when they're watching television and eating. So these are the results of the class survey for this week. Great job. Let's take a look at the due dates. We're down to our final week of class and then finals week. Your group project is due on Sunday, May 3rd by 11:59 p.m. This includes your paper, your PowerPoint slide deck, your recorded video presentation that features every student talking at least once at some point, and your peer evaluation forms. So that's due this Sunday, May 3rd. You do not have a final exam for this class. Instead, you will be writing a final reflection paper, and that is due on Friday, May 8th. You may turn that final reflection paper in as soon as you have it done, but the deadline is 11:59 on May 8th. Please refer back to the personal objective that you wrote during week 1. This was the objective that you declared for yourself, the reason why you were taking this class. You're going to discuss now what you learned this semester as it relates to that objective. You're also going to answer some specific questions that are outlined for you in the assignment. You will need to define an evidence-based practice. You will need to refer to your understanding of the energy balance equation and the importance of the factors on both the energy in and the energy out side of that equation. You will need to discuss the health effects of obesity and non-health effects of obesity. You will need to identify and discuss at least 2 factors that define and contribute to an obesogenic environment. And lastly, you should discuss how your perspective on obesity has changed or developed this semester as a result of taking this class. Great statements to make are, my perspective on obesity was strengthened, or my perspective on obesity was changed, or my perspective on obesity was modified. You might say my perspective on obesity wasn't changed at all because I feel like I already had a strong understanding of these factors, but that's up to you to decide. So, good luck with your final papers. If you have any questions, please contact me, and it's been my pleasure having you as a student this semester. Thank you for your time.